Hey guys, Civilord here, back in with another action figure review, and to my surprise, actually, we're taking a look at the DC Multiverse Red Platinum Cowardly Lot Batman. Brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys and GameStop.com of all places. Because I didn't want to pay shipping on my Killer Croc 2-pack, I ordered this guy as well because when it comes to GameStop, some of the Platinums you can just order straight from there, which makes life easier, though they are marked up slightly. They're $27.99 as opposed to the regular $24.99 these things are going for now because, well, we'll just say the T word and leave it at that because I'm not going to build my channel on some, let's say, Debbie Downer news, right? All you Engine of Vengeance people, I'm looking at you. So, with that being said, why don't we cut right to the chase and get to meat and taters of this review and take a look, see at all this version of the Dark Knight has to offer in terms of accessories, because we've gotten so many. What is this guy after the table that's different? Well, he's got a collectible trading card, that's for sure. Excuse me, collectible trading card. With a bio on the back. I guess Scarecrow's the main antagonist of the story, which makes sense because, you know, cowardly lots and all. So I will be bringing out that, what is it, New Frontier Scarecrow we looked at a couple days ago. But on top of that, this Batman does come with a couple of fist hands with Batarang claws in them, which look pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. So I'm probably going to display him with those, just because it's something different. And not for nothing, he's got one fist and one grip. And while I do believe these are reuse from the 3 Joker's Batman, these hands, there's not a whole lot I can do with those. Because he does not have anything to put in his hand. He's just got a fist. I wish he came with another fist. That said, hockey puck display stand we're using with all McFarlane Toys releases. That is not new. Did I mix up the bases from the... You know what? I just remembered I don't give a crap. I thought I might have mixed the bases up from Killer Croc and the Grim Knight 2-pack, but if I did, you saw the other stand in that video whenever that goes up. Might be going up after this, but either way, this Batman is actually, all things considered, with the exception of these gloves being kind of wonk, the way they painted them, or didn't paint them, or almost painted, whatever. With the exception of that, this is a really solid, regular-looking Batman. Like, he doesn't have a lot of extra stuff going on. If anything, he's more or less a reuse of the, oh, what's that one called? The Detective Comics 27 version, which does not have anything on the chest. Now, I like the sculpted bat logos on the chest. I think those are cool. They add a little something something to it, but this is fine. It's the black bat symbol. There's no oval. Just how I like my Batman. And then he's got the black gloves, of course, as well as some freaking schmutz on that elbow. Get off of there. I think I got most of it. As well as the black boots, regular black boots. A little tricky to stand. This was the hardest, like, figure with this body to stand, and then he's got like the kind of goldish bronze-ish, yellowish utility belt, and the crinkle sack cape, which I'm not a fan of, but it's there. It's better than a plastic cape, I guess. But the one thing this guy does have that is really, really cool is a double ball peg head. Holy shit! Just when they're about to lose the license, they finally give this body an appropriate head and neck joint. The neck don't move, as far as I can tell. If it does, then it don't move a lot. But, yeah, he's got a full-blown double ball peg in the neck. The head, whatever. Yeah, I don't think that moves. I think that's just solid there. But that is freaking awesome. He gets lots of range out of that thing. You can look up. You can look down. You can tilt. You can look all around. It's nice and tight. Looks great. Actually, scratch that. About the Detective Comics Batman, I think this is probably just reused with that Batman a Million. That's starting to show up. His shoulders can go out to the side. That far, he's got that beautiful butterfly. Which, not for nothing, this shoulder actually popped out on mine when I was trying to adjust that, so be mindful of that. You can rotate his arms all the way around. But I kind of prefer to keep them back like this. Just to kind of flex his pecs a bit. Is that what this is, a pec? Either way. It helps with the anatomy some. He's got a bicep swivel, double elbow. Which on this side is super tight, but you can get some good crunch out of that. He's got the ball hinge wrists. That will hinge, rotate, and swivel. His diaphragm will crunch not very far forward still. I wish they could have worked out this torso. I think it crunches forward a little more than usual, but not a ton. And then back, he could still do the limbo. He can rotate, he can tilt, pivot, stuff. That's all fine and dandy. And then he does have the ball joint in the waist there. Have to do some adjustment to get that nice and tight, but it is doable. Hips will kick forward, back, out, down. Thigh cut is there. Double knee. I mean, if you know this body, you know how much the double knee is going to give you, but there you go. I will say, very tight on the knees on this guy. And I recommend 2 clicks on these suckers, these top joints, to make him look somewhat normal when he's standing up. Because if you pop him straight all the way, he's going to look very chicken-legged, and that's no good. And then he does have ball hinge ankles that will rotate, hinge, and pivot, and then he's got toe joints that are not too loose on either side. So that is Cowardly Lot Batman in a nutshell. Is this the best Batman McFarlane Toys has ever given us? I'm still partial to the Nightfall body myself, but as far as the Bat family and even the Batman Rogues Gallery is concerned, this one is probably one of the better ones to use just because of scaling. It might not pose the best in the torso, but everything else works just as good as any McFarlane figure, really. So if you know what you're getting into, you know what you're getting into. I don't know if he'll work good with Justice League characters, but he's definitely going to work with like Batman-related characters, if you ask me anyways. And that's probably where I'm going to put mine. But with that being said, it's time now. Get him standing up right here. And we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's our Cowardly Lot Batman alongside, well, the antagonist from the Cowardly Lot. Not sure if he looks like this per se, but we just took a look-see at him the other day. Check that review out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. But of course, I am referring to the New Frontier Scarecrow, Dr. Jonathan Crane himself, doing his best Raiden from Mortal Kombat cosplay with that funky hat and all. I think these two scale quite nicely together. I always view Batman as a little bigger than Scarecrow. You know, he always seems kind of timid until he turns the fear gas on, then he's all "Urgh!" But then we also have, speaking of short, the Page Punchers Damian Wayne Robin from the, was it Quest for the Cowl, where Dick Grayson dons the Batman cowl for a while, and some brass knucks to boot. While I do like having those two paired up, I think he pairs up quite nicely with this Cowardly Lot Batman, because if I'm not mistaken, I do recall from Toy Shiz's review of this figure that these two pair quite nicely because I think they're both also from that New Frontier storyline. This is how they both looked. I do have the New Frontier Robin, but I figured since, you know, this Robin has a cloth cape just like this Batman, or, you know, as I like to call them, the crinkle sack capes, they would pair a little better. So if anything, as far as my Bat family goes, I think we definitely got the Batman and Robin that match, despite the fact that Batman does have funky glove syndrome going on. Either way, getting these two out of here so we can bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right there. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who, gosh darn it, is a little shorter than the Dark Knight here, which is a shame because this Batman would look really good fighting a Spawn. Maybe the Spawn universe, you know, Throne Spawn, Batman Spawn, 2-pack Spawn. I think the, whatchamacallit, Call of Duty Spawn used the slightly taller Spawn parts. Maybe that one would look better, but, you know, Hush Batman body. Got a lot of legs going on. A lot of legs, to say the very least. So, therefore, he's a little taller than good old Al Simmons here. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and out of all of the Batman figures I've looked at on this channel, the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, and I assure you, there's quite a few at this point. I have to say that this Cowardly Lot version of the Dark Knight himself has to be one of the best for one reason and one reason only. If you're looking to build a Bat family, the scaling has been questionable at best. Damian's been a little too tall, Nightwing's been a little too tall, Red Hood is about the same height as that Nightwing. Even Batgirl's a little too tall. Batman, however, has always seemed to be a bit short, unless we're talking Hush or Three Jokers or something built off those, which Cowardly Lot here is. And aside from not coming with more extra hands, and maybe even a Bruce Wayne head, because why not? Throw it in the box. I think this Batman, for me, is going to be the Batman I display with my Bat family. It's the look I prefer. Goldish, bronze-ish, yellowish belt with gray, a little dark, but it's the gray nonetheless, and black suit with the Bat symbol free of the yellow oval. I like the yellow oval, don't get me wrong, gives me animated series vibes and that's cool, but I prefer a more sleek and streamlined Batsuit for my Bruce Wayne. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.